Bonjour, Maxime Dubois, Human Resources Business Partner, Target Canada.
Hi, Josiane Dubois, Health and Safety Coordinator and Training Team. We're Siemens Canada. Sorry.
What if I told you that you can make plumbing sexy? Sometimes it's good to be bold. When trying to attract and retain younger generations, being bold is the only way to go. Bonjour, membres des exécutifs, je m'appelle Kalina, et voici mes collègues Brooke and Carly, and we are from Infinity Consulting, where the opportunities are limitless. Today we have used a FACE model, which is an HR-specific model, to tailor our presentation. The F stands for focus, which is essentially the HR goal and the business goal. A is for alignment, which is the analysis. C is for consolidation, where the analysis and the implementation come together. And E is the evaluation, which is more the logistics, budget, and the KPIs, which are the key performance indicators. Also, for your convenience, there's phase displayed at the bottom, and you can follow along as we go through each phase. We will now start with the focus.
So what is it that we want you to focus on? Well, at Infinity Consulting, we recognize that at EMCO, your objective is to continue to provide a world-class service at every location. With this being said, the human resources objective in focus today is to attract and retain a qualified, loyal workforce that is aligned with EMCO's core competencies. So I'll now continue with the focus in French. Alors, à Infinity Consulting, nous avons considéré les piliers des ressources humaines, de la formation, de la dotation, des relations de travail, de la structure organisationnelle, d'hygiène et de sécurité, et les récompenses et la rémunération. Cependant, nous avons concentré notre recommandation aujourd'hui sur les trois piliers de la formation et le développement, de la dotation et les récompenses et la rémunération. Alors, l'objectif des ressources humaines fait semblant comme la base et le soutien pour ces piliers pour vous aider à combler l'écart pour atteindre votre objectif organisationnel. Maintenant, je vais continuer avec la deuxième phase du modèle.
Je vais continuer avec l'analyse de l'écart. Donc, en premier lieu, vous avez un gros coût de formation, presque 200 000 par employé, et nous voulons combler ceci par avoir un coût de formation moins élevé dans le futur. Aussi, vous avez de la difficulté à attirer des candidats en grande quantité. Donc, nous voulons améliorer ceci dans le futur avec nos recommandations. Aussi, lorsque vous attirez des candidats, vous avez de la difficulté à les retenir pour... vous avez une moyenne de 200 candidats que vous attirez à votre compagnie, dont un finit la formation au complet. Donc, nous voulons améliorer ceci avec nos recommandations. Je vais maintenant continuer en anglais. So for the environmental analysis, we have looked at what works, what needs to work, and also where you can grow and what to watch out for moving into the future. So looking forward to what works. So you have a world-class service. So you are at the top of the line in Canada, and you also are a leader in the Canadian market. Your employee compensation is also something that is very great. You're above your competitors in terms of compensating your employees, and that's really something that you've been doing very well. In terms of what needs work, looking into the future, you have a very lengthy training program. So it takes up to 5 years to complete this training program. And as well, you have your candidate retention could also be improved into the future. When taking a look at where you need to grow, you can grow by making your company more attractive to these younger candidates that are fresh at university and ready to enter the workplace. Also, your corporate social responsibility has a great foundation. You've really been working on that, and we want to see that grow into the future where you can really capitalize on this. What to watch out for is the competition. Stores such as Lowe's and Home Depot have been offering similar lower scale services to entrepreneurs, which is something to look out for. Also, the environmental standards are something to keep into consideration as people are becoming more and more environmentally conscious. Where this can help you in terms of your analysis of the situation is you can really focus on capitalizing on your opportunities for the recommendation. I'll now pass it on to Kalina for the consolidation.
So what are we advising for you to do? You want to attract, but you also want to retain these employees. What we advise for you to do is to be bold. By doing this, you can reduce your training costs while increasing candidate attraction as well as your candidate retention. We will tell you how to do this step by step in the actual implementation.
So at Infinity Consulting, we have broken down our implementation into 3 phases, which we have named to reflect on how you can be bold. So the first phase is called to be unique, and this will commence immediately and go to 3 months. At the 3-month mark, you then want to be known, and this will go from 3 months to 18 months. And finally, from 18 to 24 months, you want to be innovative. So I'll now go into the first, we've broken down these 3 pillars that we mentioned earlier, so staffing, training and development, and total rewards, and we'll go through each of them in regards to these 3 time phases. So in terms of training and development, so in order to be unique, you first, so for your training program, it is an excellent training program with the 5 phases, and it's worked very well for you in the past. However, we just want to tweak this a little bit to tailor to the newer generation of university graduates. So what we want you to do is to initially, when you hire someone, sit down and have a consultation. This will be done with the profit center manager. So you really want to assess what the new employee's skills and abilities are, maybe to see if they can skip a couple of the phases of the training program. They may already have a lot of the qualifications, and so we don't want it to be too redundant by going back and forth and making them redo this training process. So after that, you can also do some quizzes just to really ensure that they have the necessary skills and abilities that they need. Next, we have taken your first 2 phases, and we have called them something else. So the first phase is going to be called operations phase. So this is just a little bit different. What we have done is we want more classroom training rather than in the warehouse. So we're still going to have 2 days that they're in the warehouse getting hands-on experience. However, we're going to have more of the product knowledge attained through in-classroom training. And at the end of the week, you're going to have a quiz just to ensure that they really understand everything that needs to be known about the products. So the second phase we have called customer service phase. And so this is essentially the same thing. We have just broken down the timeline a bit more and changed it to 2 to 3 months instead of having it for 6 months. So we believe that these new university graduates, they're very eager to learn, and they will want to learn quickly, so you don't need a full 6 months to do this. And finally, we want to evaluate this, this Be Unique phase. And so we're going to do that through Qualtrics, which is a new leading-edge innovative survey online. So it's very easy to use, it has a very simple user face, and it will allow you to track the employees' progress through it. Next, in order to be known, these are the next 2 phases of your current training program. However, we have just called them internal sales and external sales. The only changes we have made to these are to change the timeline. So for the first one, we want to cut them both in half. So the first one will be 6 months, and the second one will be 9 months. However, the content of them is great, and we want to keep that. Next, in order to be innovative, we want to have a profit-centered leadership. So this is currently your 5th phase. And we're just going to tweak it a little bit in that we're going to first have 2 weeks of job shadowing. So the new employees are going to first job shadow the current profit center managers just to get a real understanding of what's going on in their role. They're then going to continue by having the 3-month assignment that you currently give them. And then after that, you're going to continue evaluating them to ensure that they're really fully understanding their new roles and tasks. So next, in terms of staffing, in order to be unique, you're first going to start attending career fairs. You really want to get your name out there and show people that you're more than just a plumbing company. You want to advertise all of your different career paths that you offer, such as an HVAC, and you also want to advertise your corporate social responsibility. So you want people to know that you care about the environment. You really want to advertise this, as the younger generation is very committed to the environment as well, so they will have a lot of the similar values as you do. Next, in order to be known, we have an event for you that we think would really be great in your advertising, and we have called it Earth Day for EMCO. So what is this really? What this is you're going to start advertising through your social media, so your Facebook or your web page and so forth, and you're going to put out a 150-word written contest in which applicants are going to submit this paper and on their innovative, environmentally conscious products. So we want to know what they like and what their new ideas are. You're then going to filter through these, and you're going to decide on the top 10. So these top 10 finalists are going to come to the Earth Day for EMCO, and they're going to present their ideas. From that, you're going to choose the top finalists, and they'll be given a reward of $1,000. So this will be held outside as you're representing the Earth. This is a great opportunity for you to show, to market all of your products that are currently environmentally friendly, and any new ideas that you may have as well, to put them out there. And finally, in order to be innovative, you want to hold a conference. So this is going to be tailored to college and universities, and you really want to ensure that that they understand what EMCO is all about, all of the career possibilities within there. And so at the end, this is going to be a one-day conference, and at the end of the conference, you're going to have a gala in which all of the money will go towards a local environmental charity. And so this is going to occur in London, which was the original place that EMCO was founded, and you're going to invite all of the colleges and universities. So in terms of total rewards, in order to be unique, you want to survey your current employees. And so you're going to do this through smile sheets. So what this smile sheet is it's something that we have created, which has an underlining happy name to it. And it's really going to evaluate how the employees feel about their current compensation package. So we know that you offer a great package. However, the Generation Y is more tailored to work-life balance. So we want to ensure that the new employees coming into the organization are also compensated appropriately. So after you have received all of these smile sheets back, you're then going to evaluate them in the be known phase. So you're going to evaluate them and see if there's any changes that need to be made to the current compensation plan. For example, you can have so flex hours for the new generation, or you can partner with a local gym and do a 50% off gym membership or something like that that interests them. And finally, or you can also do a team bonding exercise. So within the local community to really support the environment and really make sure that your name is out there. And finally, and be innovative, you want to evaluate the effectiveness of the new rewards that you implemented. So again, you're going to use the smile sheets again, just make sure that everyone is happy with the new ones that you adjusted, and make any further adjustments as necessary.
So through this implementation, you can streamline your efforts in 24 months and have that as your new training program instead of having 3.5 to a 5-year. So by being unique, being known, and being innovative, you can be bold, get your name out there, and let everyone know that you're more than just a plumbing company. I will now continue with the evaluation. So the evaluation essentially, first I will go through the budget, which tells you a little bit of the financials behind all the ideas that we have proposed. It's then followed by analysis of the risks, and we will tell you how to mitigate them. And finally, the key performance indicators, which is how you'll actually measure the elements that we've mentioned in our analysis and the 3 key objectives. So starting with the budget for training and development, we have cut down your training and development program in half. So the estimated budget that we have is $10,000, which is half of the $20,000 that you originally had. In terms of the evaluation per employee using the survey method, it is $24, bringing us to a total of $10,024. In terms of the staffing, as you can see, it's a little longer, and staffing does require more funding, so I will go through this and explain it more thoroughly. In terms of the online recruitment that we're proposing for you to continue doing and even build on top of, we estimated a cost of $10,800. In terms of the university career fairs, we factored in the time of the recruiters and everyone involved, and we multiplied that by the average visits that you're going to be paying to universities. So this is just an estimate of $2,000 for the month. And in terms of the big event, the Earth Day for EMCO, you're probably wondering how much that's actually going to cost you. So we put in a couple of factors in there, such as planning, venue, and supplies. And in terms of the planning, we thought of the time of the people. We estimated about a week of planning, so 40 hours for that week, and multiplied it by an average wage of the people that will be doing the planning to get a total cost of $3,600. In terms of the venue and supplies, we want the venue to be an outdoor venue to go along with the environmental theme. And we would also encourage you to purchase a tent in case there's rain, and we factor that into the supplies as well, and for a cost of around $6,000. And in terms of the contest, now the way that we calculated this cost was 150 words would take an average of 5 minutes if you really take your time to read. And we're estimating about 200 entrants, so we just calculated that to be a total of 2,540. For a total for the Earth Day of $12,140. In terms of the conference, it is a one-day conference, and your biggest cost here will be the venue, as you will be, it's around $1,000 per hour, the big venue, big conference rooms that you would have to rent out. So you might feel like it's a lot of money, but we feel as though it would be a really great way for you to bring some speakers and get the word out there. So for the venue, it's for the 8 hours, along with some supplies, it would be $8,500. In terms of the sponsorship, now this is where you can talk to some of the partners that you've been working with and the connections that you've been building for so long and get some sponsorship so they can get their name out too and the word can spread easier that way. And we put that cost as variable because that's something that you'll have to determine. In terms of the fees for IT, such as the microphone and the logistics, that will be around $1,000. In catering, we did it at $20 a plate for a total of $4,000. And the total budget for staffing would be $37,940. And finally, for our total rewards, now I will explain how Qualtrics actually works. So it is an online survey method that more than half of the top Fortune 100 companies are using. And it's a great innovative method to ask your employees how they're doing and to really monitor their response and their progression. So the way that the cost works, you pay $5,000 for up to 50,000 replies, and since you have a total of an estimate 30,000 employees due to the 200 venues with the average employees that you have, we factored out that the $5,000 will be enough since it covers 50,000, which is more than your total employees. And in terms of the evaluation time, we just calculated again based on the wages, and for the 30,000 employees, it would cost you $28,000 for a total of $33,000. I will go through some of the risks that our plan you might encounter with this proposition. In terms of your affiliates, now the plan is very tailored to environmentally conscious people. So you might run into the risk with people who don't care that much about the environment. And we do understand that might happen, but you need to emphasize that you're still remaining true to your core values, your core mission, everything that you have been working with, and that is still in line with that, but you're just expanding on it and adapting it to the new generation. In terms of the employees, as we mentioned, there's a gap between Generation Y and the baby boomers, the managers that are coming in and the current managers. There will be some friction there, and having the different programs might also create a little bit of uneasiness. And the way that you can do that is you can train your managers on how to deal with the resistors. So that program, that would just have to be a very quick training program on telling managers of all the different types of resistors and telling them how to deal with each one accordingly. Now, in terms of the managers, you have managers currently who are older, and they have gone through the 5-year training program, but the new ones coming in would be going through 2 years, so there might be some resistance there. So you would just offer continuous advancement opportunities for the managers that are there so that they still feel appreciated.
I'll now continue with the key performance indicators. So first off, we're going to take a look at your training program. So we're looking at reducing the cost by 50%. We're doing this by reducing the number of years for which the training program is effective. So that right there will reduce the cost by half because the average training year currently is 4 years because it's from 3.5 to 5 years, and we're cutting that down to 2 years. For the candidate attraction, we're looking at taking that and increasing it by 25%. We'll be doing this by having all of these events for which you'll be meeting new candidates and letting them know about your company and how it's a great place to work and really encouraging them to apply and to send in their resume. For the candidate retention, we're looking at taking this from 0.5% and increasing it to 25%. By having them excited to work for your company, they will be more likely to be going through your training program, and having it reduced in the number of years will really allow you to have that extra appeal to these candidates, because by being able to be fully trained within 2 years instead of 5 years is a great addition to your training program.
So we encourage you to be bold. By doing this, you will reduce the training costs, you will have more people being attracted, wanting to work for your company and applying, as well as increasing the candidate retention. Through all this, you can come forward and be the one plumbing company that can make plumbing sexy. Thank you.
One of your recommendations is shorten the program to make it more attractive and to retain more people on the program. But one of the things that people who go through the program become high-performing profit center managers. When we ask them what about the program, they often tell us, we wish it was longer. We feel that the responsibilities of running an independent business without any direction from above is so great that we could have used more time. So that's a dilemma for us. How would you solve that dilemma? the need is greater and the expectation of somebody coming in is that it be shortened. How do we deal with that?
For
That's sort
sure.
of a
The way
problem.
that we thought about that is addressing it through the individual consultation that takes place at the beginning. Now, the time of the program should be variable and dependent on that. So if some employees, we feel as though having such a rigid structure might not be beneficial because employees come from different backgrounds, and the job description that you have is a little variable in terms of 3+ years. So you have to alter that based on each individual candidate.
If you want to attract people from universities instead of those conferences, how can you do that? If you want to attract them to be more shown.
Yes, so we're also suggest that you could use LinkedIn or Workopolis. They're the two most commonly used websites for job applications, so university students are always checking those. So just those, and also with the total rewards and having more of a work-life balance, it will also attract the younger generation.
Okay, thank you.
We put a lot of emphasis on environmental and just making it known and having competitions and all that. So is it, you consider it one of the most important criteria accompanying that values? Is that one of the most important elements for you?
We feel as though with the younger generation, that is one of the biggest selling points. People care about conserving the environment, and things are changing really fast, and it's becoming more and more well known about the effects of global warming. So we feel as though tailoring it and using that, you have amazing new products that are environmentally friendly. So advertising those and using those as your unique selling proposition will be a great benefit.